What's up, everyone? This is Sean.rampersaud here with the Mortgage Group. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about people that are living abroad outside of Canada and how they can get a mortgage in Canada. So, I had a couple of customers this week call me, and I was able to secure mortgages for these people after they were declined by banks and by other brokers. So essentially, what I did is I went out to all of the lenders that are in Canada right now to figure out who would be willing to lend to a Canadian citizen that's living abroad. So at the end of the video, I'm going to go through step by step exactly how I was able to get the customer approved. But I want to go into some details on if you are allowed to get a mortgage in Canada if you are living outside of the country and if we can use that income. So let's get into it. First off, before we get started with it, don't turn off the video. You are allowed to get a mortgage in Canada if you live outside of the country, as long as you're a Canadian citizen. However, there are a whole bunch of different rules that you need to know about if you're going to make a decision like this. Some of the key components on if this is going to be something you're allowed to do or not is going to come into play with a bunch of different aspects of this. So, number one, you're going to have good credit and still have credit in Canada. So there's multiple sources of credit. You don't have to have a cell phone active or a credit card active or anything like that. You could have history of things being active. The customer that I dealt with recently and was able to get approved actually had a credit card that was still open in Canada. So he had some of that back history of credit available. Second item is you are going to have to be working for a large company abroad. So they're not going to, if you're self-employed and you're a taxi driver abroad, they're not going to accept your income. You need to be working for a larger company where they can write you an employment letter and guarantee some form of income. You'll have to provide proof of Canadian citizenship. So they're obviously going to want to make sure that you are a true Canadian, that they can track you down if you go into default for any reason. And they're also going to want more money out of you. They're going to want a larger down payment. So the minimum down payment, if you're living outside of Canada, is going to be 20% down. There's a few challenges that you're going to run into if you are going to be getting a mortgage outside of Canada. Number one is, of course, a larger down payment. Not everyone can afford the 20% down that you're going to require if you are living abroad. Number two is a little bit of a higher interest rate. So when I got this customer approved this week, it was a 0.5% more than what the interest rates are today. So I submitted the application to multiple different lenders, and some were 0.5%, others were a full percent more than what the regular bank rates are right now. So you will pay more if you're living abroad. And very limited lender options. I was only able to find 3 lenders that would actually lend to someone living outside of Canada. And again, that's a Canadian citizen living outside of Canada, earning income outside of the country. So what type of lenders will actually lend to someone living outside of Canada? The first, of course, is the banks. There are some banks that will lend to you if you're living outside of Canada. They all have very, very strict rules behind it. There's also B lenders, private lenders, which you want to avoid if you can, because the interest rate's a lot higher. And then some credit unions will also do this if you own property in Canada already. So let's talk about process, step by step. How are you going to get this mortgage in Canada? So first, you should contact me before you contact anyone. I deal with more lenders than almost every broker in the country, and you're not stuck to one bank's guidelines. So absolutely, if you're outside of Canada looking to get a mortgage in Canada, definitely you should be contacting me. I'll shop around for you. I will find the absolute lowest rate, and I'll give you all of the options that presented to you so that you can make a decision on which bank you want to deal with. Next, I'll check your Canadian credit. So I'm going to pull your Equifax credit report. And if I can't find credit there, I'm going to pull your TransUnion credit report as well. After that, you're going to prepare your documentation. So I'll request a bunch of documents from you. It's going to be citizenship, employment letters, pay stubs, kind of all the same things that you need if you're applying for a mortgage in like within Canada anyway, with a few add-ons like the Canadian citizenship, just to prove that you are a citizen here. After that, you got to choose the right property that's going to suit your needs and make sure it's not like a rural property on vacant land or something like that. Make sure it's just a house in a major municipality. Those will be the easiest to get approved. A lot of lenders won't go outside of major municipalities. So you're very limited in comparison to living in Canada on what type of properties you can buy. You can buy single family homes. Some of the lenders don't want townhouses, some don't want mobiles, some will not like farms. Actually, farms are pretty much totally out of it unless you're putting 50% down or more. Then finally, I get you pre-approved. I'll get you a pre-approval letter and say, okay, go shopping. And then you can choose which property you want to go with. There are, of course, some ways that you could improve your chances on how you're going to get approved for this mortgage. So, of course, we want stable income. We want the down payment coming directly from you. Uh, all of these things make you a solid person to lend to. You should check out one of my other videos called The 5 C's of Credit, where I talk about how you can become credit worthy. But some of the other things that will make you credit worthy for this type of situation is one, a cosigner that's living in Canada. That will make a huge difference if you've got a cosigner or somebody that's going to reside in the property living in Canada. So, for example, the deal I worked on this week, the people had family living in Canada that were going to live in the property. So it made it a lot easier for this person to get approved for their mortgage because of that. Make sure you have some Canadian credit. So if you're planning on this, absolutely leave a credit card open or apply for a credit card. You are a Canadian citizenship. You're eligible for a credit card if you have good credit. We need to make sure that you have really good credit in order to do this, or no one's going to approve this. And if all else fails, then you need to consider private lenders and B lenders because they'll lend to almost anyone if you have a large enough down payment. So definitely take that into consideration if you're buying. So what happens after the pre-approval? So after the pre-approval, that's time when you can go shopping. So you're going to want to find yourself a good real estate agent. I recommend that you're going to find somebody that is easy to work with remotely. Someone that has a good camera that will take video for you of a property. Someone who has access to inspectors, who have access to lawyers. And speaking of lawyers, here's a tip for you. If you are buying property in Canada and you're outside of the country, you're going to need to get a lawyer in Canada that can do remote signing. So if you need that, please call me. I'll set you up with a lawyer that does remote signing. So basically, they do a video call with you. They have you sign some paperwork right in front of them, lift it up to the screen, show that, take images of it to prove that you signed the paperwork. And that's how you will be able to close a transaction with the lawyer. So I want to quickly run the scenario by you that I actually got approved this week. So like I said, the person was living in Saudi Arabia. They are a Canadian citizen. They had a large down payment of 20% or more. This person actually ended up putting 35% down, but 20% was the minimum that they would take. This person had a salary job at a big company, okay, making over $100,000 a year. So very, very stable income. They provided pay stubs to prove it. And they still had some Canadian credit. They had one single credit card open, which allowed them to keep a high credit score in Canada. They haven't used it for a long time, but it was still open. So these people were able to get approved with 20% down, and the rate was only 0.5% higher than the regular standard rates. And the crazy part is this person has not lived in Canada for 14 years, but they're buying the property for them to live in when they come here and for their family to stay in. And this person was approved. So please give me a call if you do live outside of Canada and you want to get approved for a mortgage here. So let's run through the steps, step by step, how to get approved for a mortgage in Canada if you are a Canadian citizen living abroad. Number one is contact me to get access to the lenders that you need to go to. Not everyone can go to these lenders, and you can't go directly to the lenders that I'm talking about and get approved for a mortgage. Number two is I get you pre-approved. That will give you the stability and the understanding, and give your real estate agent the confidence in you that you're going to be able to go in and close a transaction with them. Next, you're going to provide all documents. So my online portal, you're going to upload your documents that my system asks of you. So it'll be like employment letters, pay stubs, that type of thing. Put that all in the system, and I will have a pre-approval to you within 2 business hours. Next, if you don't have one yet, I will refer you to a real estate agent that will be really good for your area. There's a lot of really, really bad real estate agents out there. You want to make sure, one, you're going to get somebody that communicates well with you, maybe speaks in the same language as you. Two, that can take video of the properties that you're going in to look at, in high quality videos, so you actually see what you're buying. Three, has access to inspectors and lawyers and everything you need to close a real estate transaction confidently. Next, you send that realtor out shopping. So you create a list of criteria that you want. So it might be a two-story, it might be a bungalow, you might want a certain neighborhood, you might want a certain age of home. I don't know what your criteria is going to be, but you really need to make a very strict list of what kind of criteria you're looking for, so you don't waste the real estate agent's time and you send them looking for what you actually want. Once you find a property, you're going to place an offer, and make sure it's a conditional offer, conditional upon inspection and conditional upon financing. If you have any questions about that, absolutely give me a call or contact me through WhatsApp if it's easier for you. But definitely call me. All my contact information is below. So once the sellers accept your offer, you're going to send the offer to me in an email or upload it to my system with the MLS listing. Then I take that and I submit that off to the bank with all of your income documentation, all of your proof, and the bank will then issue me a commitment, which is basically a conditional mortgage approval. So then you sign off on that. We send that into the bank and they do their final review of all your documentation. Once the final review is done, then they will send me something that says all conditions satisfied, and you can lift your financing condition on the property. After that, I will prep some documents and send it off to your lawyer. Your lawyer will give you a call to set an appointment. When you set the appointment, it's going to be obviously a remote signing. So you sign with the lawyer, then the bank will forward all the funds to the lawyer, and the lawyer will send that to the sellers of the property. The lawyer is actually there to protect you, so it's a good thing that this is all going down at the same time. And last, you take possession of the property. So if you want, you can have your real estate agent pick up the keys, or a family member, or you could fly in and pick up the keys, whatever you prefer. But that's basically the entire process from beginning to end on exactly what you need to do to get approved for a mortgage. I guess my key points of what is most important here is you need to contact a broker that knows what they're doing. The customers that I dealt with this week, they dealt with 3 different brokers, they dealt with banks, they were declined by all of them, and then I was able to get them approved. Better not to waste the time and let people keep pulling your credit. Just come directly to me. I will get you approved, get you pre-approved actually, and ready to go shopping. People often ask me, like, why would I even buy a home in Canada? What's the point? Well, there's a lot of really good reasons to buy a home in Canada, starting with first, definitely stability in the market. Our real estate market is very stable in Canada, and it's on an upward trend. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong. It's very affordable in a lot of places. So I can't see the market really crashing a whole bunch. There are some markets that are high as well that continue to just keep on appreciating on the coasts of the country. It's definitely a great place to make an investment. So if you're buying a rental property here, there's a lot of return on investment if you're buying a rental property in Canada. So you get the appreciation, it's kind of a slow appreciation of property in Canada, but you'll also get the stability of the rental properties here. Rental properties still cash flow in Canada, which is a huge thing. I know in the US, in some places, it's almost impossible to get a rental property to cash flow. When I say cash flow, I mean like the overall expenses be less than what you have coming in from the renters. So that's what a cash flowing property is. It's easy to find a cash flowing property in Canada. We've got like a really diverse amount of real estate products. We've got condos, we've got townhouses. You can invest in REITs, you can invest in mobile homes, you can invest in land. I mean, there's just so much that you can invest in Canada, and you own the properties. In some cases, you own the mineral rights. So it's yours. The Canadian government is never going to take it away from you. Cultural and social stability. So, like I said, the Canadian government's not going to take it away from you. Some countries, the government can, the government can change governments and then they can take your property away from you or change the rules on you. That would never happen in Canada. Other reasons that you might want to buy a property here is to help family that's still living in Canada, or you may be planning a move back to Canada and just want to have yourself all set up and have your family all set up for when they get here. Or it could just be for tax benefits. So one of the things that you'll notice with Canada is if you own property here and it's your own single family house, primary residence, you don't have to pay capital gain taxes on that if you were to dispose of the property. So if you're buying this property for you to live in, for example, you live abroad, but this property is for you to live in. It's your only property in Canada that you live in. Then when you sell that property, you don't have to pay taxes on it. So let's say the property goes up $200,000 in value in the next 2 years or whatever. You don't have to pay capital gain taxes. That means that $200,000 in profit is all yours. Listen, thanks a lot for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me get more views and it also helps me get this good information out to the people that need it. I appreciate you. Talk to you soon.